मम्मी के साथ. This year we only had one objective, is to measure physical businesses who are flying blind. So let's start from the edge. First of all, we made a plug and play hardware which when you plug in your system, it can identify all the local CCTV camera, get their feed, encrypt it and send it to our AI system. In last 4 months itself, we have processed 500,000 hours of video, which is 62 years worth of video footage. Let's be real, no one is going to see it, and then the manager will take decision based on one complaint and call it experience. Now this system package streams our video to our AI system. So what all AI system we developed this year? First of all, a real-time object detection pipeline which can infer at speed of 3 milliseconds when speed is important, and when accuracy is important it can infer up to 7 milliseconds. Now end-to-end latency of our pipeline means video from video frame to the database entry is 12.3 milliseconds, which we are working on. This itself doesn't include the network latency. Network latency varies a lot based on location and day of time. We also develop pose invariant low resolution face recognition, which we correctly identified 2300 images based in 2 states, Kerala and Delhi. Now another thing which we did was headcount analysis. 1.1 million people walked through the outlets, but usually business people think they know their footfall, but they don't. Out of 1.1 million people, only a fraction of them converted into customer, and mostly no one knows why. Now there is also one thing we saw, that if your revenue story and your crowd peak story, like your revenue peak story and your crowd peak story are telling you a different thing, that means you're missing out on some customers. Now second is employee identification. We have identified 630 employees based on their uniform appearance, and we have identified 9 class of them. Now usually business says that it's always their employee's fault, and which is usually lie. Now we have identified, like we have gone deep into answering some of very critical questions. Is, are you understaffed or misallocated? Who is the critical guy who's invisible? And where is your people's time or effort going into? Then we also tracked about 115 days of queue time. I think queue time is most normalized disrespect business can give to a customer. This is crazy that how much time humans are just wasting standing there waiting for their order. In table occupancy, this is data for last 4 months across our outlet. We have correctly identified 11.3 years worth of data of table utilization in our outlets. But the main thing to focus is that there was 7.2 years of data, 7.2 years of time which the table was not occupied. We have identified that some of the tables are dead tables. No matter how crowded your restaurant are, people are avoiding those tables. We have also identified on what tables the occupancy time was high and what table occupancy time was low. Waiter interaction, we nearly captured 1 million waiter interaction, and we observed the human to human interaction time between waiter and customer is 1.6 year for last 4 months of data. And this is where there is a slight difference between your conventional wisdom and what we found out. So manager says that attitude is everything for waiter, which is not true. It's mostly attention. We have identified tables where there was severe attention deficit, means people were waiting and the customer was not attending those tables. We have also identified which waiters were overworked and what are the dishes which are taking long time, etc. We also identified what is the upsell opportunity when a customer is sitting. Finally, this is a new feature we developed 1-2 months back, is we are now giving out kitchen cleanliness index. 17 checkpoints we are following, and we are deployed in 6 production kitchens. Now this all data is combined and then sent to dashboard. This is a video which was made by my co-founder, a good video explaining how the dashboard is working. Now what next? This is what we covered last year. This is what all we developed by just 2.5 full-time people. Now this year, what I am planning to do, I'll make a separate video on this too, is that first of all, this is only one source of truth, the CCTV video data. What about sales data? What about inventory data? What about HR data? This year, I'm only planning to capture these 4 source of truth. And from each source of truth, we'll have some insights. Like from video itself, footfall, table occupancy time, queue time, etc. From inventory, you can also, from sales, you can have average order size, what is your order per table, what are the items which are ordered more. Then there is inventory, you can have what is the stock, what is my forecast of next stock. HR, you can have what is the headcount, attendance, which staff is to come when, what is the cost of that staff. But think about when you have interaction of these things. Let's say I get headcount from video. Let's say I get headcount from HR. 16 waiters should be present. And now I get headcount from video data that only 14 were there. Where were those 2 people? That kind of thing. Or you can have what happens when, let's say, from your POS data, you saw that today there is a sale of 120 dosa. Is your inventory sufficient enough for tomorrow? That kind of thing, that cross interaction. And there is much more value to be produced by cross interaction of video data from all other data. Like if you want to know what is the cost per interaction of waiter. Now waiter interaction itself is a data which can only be derived by video data. Now what is a upsell opportunity? That kind of thing. Now not only this will become ground truth for agentic system. So this will cement itself as the semantic truth, so that agents and human can work on it. Now the probability of a model going wrong would decrease significantly because it's based on real data. Now what happens is that this fragmented data would be converted into decisions which the model will keep on taking, and human in the loop will only see if the decision was correct or not. I'll make a separate video on this, but that's the end of the video. Thank you for giving your time, and Happy New Year.